Hello guys and welcome back to game number 3. This is going to be Norway versus the Ukraine. We are currently at 1 apiece, which means that this is going to be Liquid Snoot's second game. We're going to be doing Snoot versus Bly, another Zerg versus Zerg. So seems like both Norway and the Ukraine both like to have Zerg players, so that's pretty cool. And we're going to hopefully not see any of that Zerg rushing at the start. Sorry, Ling rushing, because that of course seems to ruin the game quite often and drags it out quite long when both players are unsure of who is ahead. So on the blue side, it does appear that Bly, who's part of Team Acer, has decided to go for a spawning pool first. So the aggression is going to be going down from his side, and he's done an extractor trick right after taking the extractor here also. Based on the timings, he is going to have gas available as soon as the spawning pool is going to be completed. So he will have the metabolic boost on the way very quickly. On the other side, it does look like Snoot has actually opted to get a hatchery first. So the timings here are going to be absolutely essential. As you can see here, Zerglings are now going to be very quickly streaming here from Bly's base. So he's going to have to do some damage here to Snoot's base. If he doesn't manage to do that, then what's going to result is Snoot is going to have a better economy and he will very quickly pull ahead. So as you can see there, Zerglings, there's 4 already on the way. There's going to be another 4 on the way very shortly. Metabolic boost will not actually complete until the Zerglings are already in this base. And he is avoiding the Overlords as best as he can. As you can see, he is rallying these Zerglings outside just so that the Overlord does not spot them. If you see a bunch of Zerglings running at you this early, then at that point you know that you need to throw down maybe a few spine crawlers. Maybe you need to, I don't know, do something crazy to try to defend up against this. But as you can see, there's 8 Zerglings here right now. The metabolic boost is about 50% complete, and he's going to wait for these Zerglings to clump up. And oh my god, look, even more Zerglings being made right now. Once these Zerglings are revealed, at that point he's not really going to care about the Zerglings being seen by this Overlord here. At this point there's actually no way to hide them anyways. It looks like 4 of Snoot's Zerglings are going to be heading on out now. Bly, he is spending so much time right now, but he is just avoiding the Overlords. He knows the exact timing of these Overlords. He knows how long it takes for them to get out. And these Zerglings, they're going to be heading into Bly's base, but Snoot, he's not going to be aware of what is going on here. As you can see now, the Queen has been sniped here. The Speedlings running straight into the natural, not going to be able to do much here. They do pick off one worker, which actually is fine. He's going to be continuing on here. Not going to be able to get this surrounding the Queen because of course there's so many Zerglings on the field right now. He needs to do more damage with this right now, and all of these Zerglings running in here right now. This is crazy. So many Zerglings here from Bly doing so well. This is actually Snoot's bailing, so if these connect with Bly's Zerglings, it's going to turn very sour for him. Now he's lost a few workers off the back of this. He's obviously lost a Queen out of it as well, and as you can see, the base is now up for Bly as well. So he has standardized the game just a little bit. And as you can see here, there is Banelings heading on up. Nice. One Baneling gets taken out by the Zergling. And is he going to sacrifice these Zerglings for those Banelings as well? He needs to defend. Now, the thing with rushes is, if you have not done enough damage with it, it's a little bit difficult to come back and catch up. Now, this is going to potentially result in a big explosion here, and 2 Zerglings get taken out. And 2 more Zerglings here with these Banelings. So it's definitely worth sacrificing 2 Zerglings for 1 Baneling, simply because that means you do not take any additional damage for your bigger groups. So that is perfectly fine. Bit of aggression going down here. I do believe that Bly is going to be just fine defending against this. There's nothing else reinforcing at the moment, so the one thing that Snoot needs to do is tech up. He needs to macro, he needs to tech, and he needs to get a lot of aggression going down while Bly's economy is struggling. So this hatchery is not even fully saturated yet. This one is almost fully saturated as well. And Snoot is also very quickly saturating his own bases. He's got double gases being thrown down in the natural. I'm not quite sure if he'd want to... Wow, he's actually sacrificed so many drones off his mineral line just to saturate those gases. He does have a hatchery on the way as well. And I wonder, is he going to try to sneak in a Spire out of this? 4 gases going down for Bly as well. There's a Baneling Nest on the way. Not that he needs it anymore. He doesn't know it yet, but he doesn't actually need that Baneling Nest anymore. And what is Snoot going to do out of this? There we go. He does indeed have a Spire. So when you put down a Spire on 2 bases with 4 gases, you typically get about 600 to 700 gas before the Spire hatches. Now, because he started off with about 150, he will be able to make 7 or 8 Mutalisks when this Spire pops up, assuming of course he does not waste that gas on anything else. So let's see how that progresses. He is making a few Banelings, so hopefully not going to deteriorate the amount of Mutalisks that he can make too much. So as I was saying, there should be about 700-800 gas available once that Spire pops. It might actually be a little bit more. Looks like the timing is just a little bit off. And it appears that Bly has actually decided to do the exact same thing. So Bly also doing a very similarly timed Spire. The only thing is he's going to have a lot more Mutalisks. He started off with 300 minerals or 300 gas by the time his Spire went up. So here we go, 860. The gas here is just absolutely stockpiling right now for Snoot. He's definitely going to be able to get about 10 Mutalisks as soon as this pops. He does have all of the larva stacked up. So there we go, 7 is already on the way. He will be able to create 3 more very shortly. And he does have a 3rd base coming down as well. Now, in this case, Bly's base is actually a lot faster than Snoot's, so he will have it about 15 seconds earlier. And he's putting down 2 gases even before the hatchery is complete. So that is definitely interesting. Now the question is going to be, is Bly going to respond with just as many Mutalisks? He has 800 gas right now. Enough for 7 Mutalisks with the minerals that he has. He throws down 7 and throws down Carapace level 1 as well at the same time. So at this point, Bly is definitely aware of the Mutalisks. So this is going to be a Mutalisk versus Mutalisk attack. And will he get those Mutalisks up before these guys make it there? Possibly. Very, very possibly. Let's have a look at the units tab. 11 Mutalisks for Snoot. So he is a bit ahead on these Mutalisks. 7 for Bly, so he's definitely behind here. So if he wants to match up, he definitely wants to get another maybe 2, and then the fact that he's going to have level 1 Carapace should carry him. Now Snoot is opting to go for even more Mutalisks right now, as you can see, getting his own Carapace level 1. And Bly is also throwing down a few Mutalisks. There is an infestation pit on the way. I wonder, is he going to try to get a fungal growth onto the Mutalisks? If he does, that would be absolutely huge. But of course he needs to land it first. Mutalisks are extremely fast. Let's have a look at that. It's 5.6 speed. Which means sniping them with this small delay of the infestors is actually a little bit difficult. You need to be able to anticipate where they move. And look at this creep. It's very, very quickly making it up into the blue base. So this cloud of Mutalisks, there is about 12 of them there. Potential hatchery going down here. I wonder, is he going to throw that down now? Okay, so Bly is aware of this. He does see that the drone was here, which tells him straight away that this could have potentially been a base. Obviously Snoot is probably going to hold off on this, going to be a little bit indecisive and say, maybe this is not the best of ideas to do right now, because the Mutalisks will be in a very good position to just come in from this side and just snipe it off. So here we go, he's actually bringing a Spore Crawler and 3 Queens to try to secure that, which I suppose makes that okay for him. Now it looks like Bly is actually interested in making a few more Mutalisks. He has thrown down a few of his own Spore Crawlers. Of course, when you are producing Mutalisks only from your hatcheries, you start racking up minerals quite fast. So if we have a look at that, based on 3 bases right now, Bly has, this is Bly, yes it is indeed, he has 700 minerals or gas per minute, and he has 1700 minerals. So Mutalisk costs 100, 100. This leaves him with 1,000 minerals per minute that he can waste on something else. In that case, obviously spine crawlers and spore crawlers seem to be like the definite option here, because he would be able to, of course, get those up. Now there we go. He does decide to go for both Infestor and Viper. Vipers are actually similar to Infestors, but they're a little bit easier to deal with because they send off this cloud. I think it's called Acidic Cloud if I'm not mistaken. Parasitic Bomb, that's what it's called actually. So it does damage over time. If you spread out your units, it's similar to the Science Vessel of StarCraft 1. You can spread out the units and prevent the damage from being taken, but because, of course, these players are playing at such a fast pace, it's very hard to actually manage that before losing a few units. And of course, it softens up whatever you do have already. So let's have a look at the amount of Mutalisks. It looks like 36 Mutalisks for Bly and 23 for... Sorry, 23 for Bly and 36 for Snute. So he's going to see that he is completely outnumbered here. There is a small fungal growth landing here. Is he going to get a parasitic bomb? He does manage to land it. That does get destroyed. Look at this. It actually appears to have transferred over here. So as you can see, there's so many units. I'm not even sure what exactly I'm looking at. There's a big massive surround from these Mutalisks as well. Let's have an updated view at the numbers. 16 Mutalisks for Bly and 22 Mutalisks for Snute. So he managed to even that out quite nicely with the help of the Infestor and the Viper. So very well played here. The creep is now connected. Now just to keep note, this creep tumor would only grant vision until about here. It's not going to grant the same vision as Bly's tumors. Now this is turning into some sort of air superiority play, which is something you don't actually see that often, and I'm really happy to see this every once in a while. Right now, Legacy of the Void is such a ground force play. You see every now harassment. Yes, you see the medevacs, you might see the liberators going down, but again, they're attacking ground. There's no massive air combat. And this is exactly what we're seeing. A bunch of Mutalisks, Vipers, and they're gonna just go all out crazy here. This hatchery, of course, getting denied. Doesn't actually cancel it here, so that's a waste of 400 minerals. Now this hatchery also gets spotted very, very quickly, so obviously Bly is going to try to counterattack on that and potentially force a cancel on it as well. Now it looks like chitinous plating and the Ultralisk Cavern have already been completed, so chitinous plating, sorry, is actually on the way, which is okay. It means that he is trying to force some sort of damage on the ground. Now just to note, if you have Mutalisks with no upgrades and Ultralisk with 8 armor, which is a fully upgraded Ultralisk, this means the Ultralisk will only take 1 damage per hit from the Mutalisks. This is absolutely huge. It'll mean that they can absolutely ignore the Mutalisks and just rush straight into that base. Unfortunately for him, there's only level 1 Carapace on the way, so the Mutalisks, while they would take a while to kill the Ultralisk, they can definitely manage it. There we go. This is going to be a very important moment here. There is one Mutalisk here just spread out. I think that the only purpose of this was to see if the other Mutalisk is coming in. Did manage to cancel off this base. This is very important, and there's actually a counterattack. These Zerglings are now inside the natural base here. They are surrounding the Queen. I'm gonna take that out as well pretty nicely. Let's see how many drones they do manage to snipe off here. Ultralisk has now been revealed, just to note. And currently, what's that, 10, 11? 11 drones taken out with this Zergling attack. I think that was absolutely worth it for him. Very, very good. Manages to slow down the economy of Bly. So as you can see right now, the economy is very, very even. Bly does pull just a little bit ahead here. And I'm actually not sure how he manages that, seeing as they're on equal bases. I see there's only 11 drones on this. This is fully mined out, and this is quickly getting mined out as well. So Ultralisk, Queens, Mutalisks, Vipers. This is a nice amount of different units for him. So Ultras coming out the front, doing loads and loads of damage. Let's see how long these Ultras take to kill. They're actually getting stuck here, so maybe those Queens would want to move the hell away. And there we go, Corrosive Clouds coming out for both players now. Or Acid Cloud rather. And a lot of actually FPS lag going down. Look at this. This is going to get absolutely blown up here. Mutalisk slowly, very quickly even getting destroyed here. And here we go. The Ultralisk now starting to clear up the area. All of the anti-air has been cleared up other than this one here. To have a look at the unit stat, it does appear that there's 30 versus 25 in terms of Mutalisk count. Oh, a huge fungal growth landing onto these Mutalisks here. This is actually quite nice here. Is there going to be a Mutalisk engage here? There's so many units on the screen. I'm getting confused with what I'm actually saying. And as I said, these Ultras, they're just so difficult to kill. Look at that, 5 more Ultras being produced right now. Snoot deciding to actually build more Mutalisks instead, but look, they're just straight on attacking the Ultras and they don't do that much damage. It's taking 2 volleys to take about 20% of the Ultras' health. So the only thing they can really do here is just engage straight onto the Mutalisks. The Mutalisks, of course, want to deny the damage here. Look at this. Finally, breaking into the base, doing 26 drones worth of damage here as well. So getting him back for that attack he did with the Zerglings. And there we go. Another parasitic bomb is going down. A lot of damage here onto Snoot's units, and all of these Mutalisks are about to explode. Look at this. Finally managing to catch all of those with the parasitic bomb. Now I do think that Bly does have a few more units there, and there we go. Snoot GGing out, and Bly taking game number 3. Okay, so I have to say that was one of the most confusing games that I've casted so far, with 2 Zergs and 2 Mutalisk armies. It's just, oh, headache. So yeah, I probably talked a bunch of crap at the end of that cast, and I'll pretty much end it here. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please consider leaving it a thumbs up, and I will see you in game number 4, where we're going to continue on. I believe currently we're on Ukraine 2 and 1 to Norway. So that's pretty much it. Good luck, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.